So welcome you all the participants. The expert is supposed to be joined very shortly. So meanwhile, you can drop the message to mark your attendance in the chat box. Kindly do the needful. The speaker is about to join, so kindly, meanwhile, mark your attendance. Yeah, so sir is going about to join. Good evening, sir. Namaskar. So, Professor Rajat Agarwal with us. So, without further delay, let me introduce our esteemed speaker for this session. Professor Rajat Agarwal currently shouldering the responsibility as a professor in the Department of Management Studies, Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. He is Associate Dean for Innovation and Incubation, IPR Chair Professor and Chairman of Senate Committee for Scholarship and Prizes at IIT Roorkee. He is also Associate Professor Member at Center of Excellence for Disaster Mitigation and Management and Center of Excellence for Transportation Management at IIT Roorkee. Professor Agarwal initiated the process of establishing the Design Innovation Center at IIT Roorkee and presently co-PI and co-coordinator of this center. Professor Rajat was a visiting fellow to the business school at Denmark. He was awarded ICCR chair at Indonesia in year 2016-2017. His area of interest is production and operations management, including supply chain management, manufacturing strategy, and world-class manufacturing. He has guided more than 20 PhD students in these areas and currently leading more than 10 PhD scholars. He has completed more than 12 research consultancy projects and projects worth over 2.5 crore are in under process. He has more than 125 research article in the referred journal and more than 25 research article in conference preceding. He has authored one book published by Bloomsbury and book chapter in 8 books. He has multiple courses in NAPTEL, which are very popular and rerunning every year. So, without further delay, I would like to hand over to Professor Agarwal. Sir, namaskar.
Thank you, Professor Krishna, for giving me this opportunity to meet all the participants of NIT Uttarakhand. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. My apologies that I got slightly delay because of
No,
my class in
no
Indian
worries, sir.
level,
No
that
worries,
is
sir.
from 6 to 7, and since this used to be the last class of the day, so sometime it gets extended.
Yeah.
So I hope I'm
But sir,
not.
thank you very much. You accepted our invitation in a short span of time. So
I always love. In
thank you,
fact,
sir.
because of COVID, now we are into these online
Yes.
mode of discussions. Otherwise, I always love to travel to NIT and meet you in person.
We
So,
also, Professor Agarwal also multiple time visited NIT Uttarakhand and also the part of the DIC. That is also, I think NIT Uttarakhand is also having DIC
yes,
project,
yes, yes.
right?
You
So
you have
that
a
I come in my mind.
PIC.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we will talk about next 1 hour for supply chain management and use of technology in supply chain, particularly information technology, in the coming uh, period, coming time. And this is going to be a very interesting, you can say, talk, because I am speaking not because of that, but it is going to be giving you the idea that how the landscape is changing. To start my discussion, I will like to mention that there was a time where supply chain management was considered to be a subsystem, a part of operations management. Over a period of time, the role of supply chain management has become so prominent that nowadays operation management is considered to be a subsystem of supply chain management. So you can understand the importance of this particular topic. Second, organizations draw their competitiveness from a particular source. We all know Apple draws its competitiveness because of its ability to innovate. Many of you may be knowing the company Toyota. Toyota draws its competitiveness because of superior quality. Many of the Chinese products draw their competitiveness because of low cost. So you purchase so many products from different organizations, and these products are coming to you because of some competitiveness of that particular organization. Why you prefer one product over other? Because that company is offering superior features, maybe with respect to A dimension, B dimension, C dimension. Some of us may look for low cost, so we buy low cost products. Some of us look for quality products, so we buy quality product. Some of us buy innovative products. Similarly, supply chain has also become a very important source of competitiveness for many organizations. Since you all are from India, we know in India, Maruti is a very popular car. Very, very popular car. 65% of the car market, passenger car market, is controlled by Maruti. Now, Maruti's success is very much dependent on its supply chain management. Their supply chain management, rather their superior supply chain management, is one of the biggest source of their competitiveness. Similarly, you will find many other examples. Maybe many of you are aware of names like Walmart. Now, Walmart is a company which is either at number one or number two in Fortune 500 companies. And since last 18 or 20 years, it is able to maintain that position. Sometime it becomes number one, sometime number two, one, two, one, two, one. And Walmart's source of competitiveness is also its excellent supply chain management. So whether you see our own Indian example of Maruti or you see a global example of Walmart, you will realize that supply chain management has become a very important source of competitiveness. There is no doubt in that. And therefore, it is important to understand how supply chain management dimensions are changing over a period of time. We all are moving into Industry 4.0. People have started talking of Industry 5.0 also. So, in that changing landscape, now we are not purchasing products only from the market, from the brick and stores. We also purchase products online. Almost all of us, whether you are in Uttarkashi, you are in Srinagar, you are in Roorkee, you are in Tamil Nadu, wherever you are, you have started purchasing products online. So, therefore, the nature of supply chain is changing dramatically. Now, we need physical supply chains and we also have these e-commerce supply chains. And that's why we need to understand the role of technology, that how technology is changing our supply chain landscape. And therefore, just a minute, let me start sharing something. So, as I'm saying that technology has started impacting the supply chain in a big way. So, are you able to see this blank page?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, thank you. In supply chain management, there are three very important components we need to understand first. It's a supplier, then supplier to manufacturer, manufacturer to wholesaler, and wholesaler to retailer. This is a generic supply chain: supplier, manufacturer, wholesaler, and retailer. Now, from supplier to manufacturer, this part of the supply chain is known as long haul. This is known as regional supply chain, and this is known as last mile supply chain. Long haul supply chain, that means suppliers are located in Africa and raw material is coming from Africa to India. So it's a very long distance which supply chain is covering. And generally, in this part of supply chain, you have good amount of economies of scale. Very good economies of scale. So here we will see what type of technological involvements are happening. Once raw material has come from Africa to India in a manufacturing facility, probably let's say located in Gujarat, you started manufacturing the products. So now within India, you have different warehouses, maybe in each part of our country. So that is known as regional supply chain. Here, you will lose some economies of scale. You will lose some economies of scale because from Africa to India, you are getting raw material in big containers, very big containers. You have economies of scale. But now, those big containers will be divided into much smaller containers, which will go. So the long haul is coming maybe through ship, but the regional distribution will happen through rail or maybe through trucks only. And then the last mile from warehouses, the wholesalers, the products will be given to the retailer, and this will be like using some more you faster mode of distribution. Sometimes people are saying that we lose economies of scale as we go from supplier to retailer. It is more economy when you are at the supplier side, and it is least economy when you are coming to the retailer side. And as you are moving from supplier to retailer side, the speed of transportation increases. You have a slower mode of transportation from supplier to manufacturer, that is ship. Then you have rail, and then you have a very fast local distribution system. So that is how the changes happen in the supplier to retailer movement. Now, in this case, let us try to understand What are the important drivers which play and where the technology need to be addressed? For any supply chain, what are the key decision areas? These key decision areas are facilities. Now, where to locate facility? What is the role of facility? Where to locate your manufacturing facility? Where to locate your warehouses? Where to locate your retailers? We require that information. And technologies, because we are focusing more on technologies in today's session. Technologies like GIS, you will require complete mapping of particular areas. You need to know how the population is distributed in these areas, what type of resources are available in these areas. That will give you a good picture and how development has taken place over last 10 years 15 years in these areas. That will give you a very good information to decide about the location of your facility. Earlier, let me tell you that we used to do simple linear programming based modeling to decide the location of our facilities, that the cost of transportation and the cost of manufacturing in these possible locations are calculated, and we used to develop linear programming transportation models to decide the location of our facilities. But because of information technology, we are now able to take more informed decisions. We are able to take decisions which are able to give you good, you can say, benefit, and they are uh, the reason of success stories of companies like DMart in India. Some of you may be knowing the company name DMart. How many of you know? Let us try to make this session more interactive also, so that we can understand the level of understanding which you are developing, whether I'm making a sense or not. So how many of you know about DMart? Anybody can unmute and give some input.
Yes, sir, I know. People
So
are, I think, audience can give the response by unmuting yourself, so that it would be really helpful and be more interactive session. Thank you.
so let me ask, if you are not giving, Priyanka, I can see your name coming on my screen. Ravindran, Sachin, Pratik, Beloshe, Prachi Chauhan, Parul Saini.
Kindly respond.
Are you here, or you have just logged in?
Sir, we are
Yes,
here.
Yes, Parul.
yes, sir.
Yes, so I'm asking, do you know about DMart or not? Even let's say if I'm not aware, so simply say no, I'm not aware.
So I think it's a supermarket chain.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Supermarket chain. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So if you see, the location of their warehouses, wherever they are locating their facilities, where you can go and purchase your products. And you also know about Reliance Digital. You also know about okay, Reliance Digital or Reliance Trends. They are also big retail outlets. So, do you find any difference between DMart and Reliance Digital or Trends, etc.? Jagdeep? Jagdeep is giving some answer.
Um, Sir, according to me, DMart is a basically like we can say that one roof under we get a basic and a personal products. But as per the Reliance perspective, it's offering, I think, some offers or as per the demands of the customers, I think.
No, Jagdeep, at this point, I'm interested to know their locations. So, if a Reliance Digital store is coming in your city, it will come in a already popular market. But if a
Yes, sir.
DMart is coming in your city, it will not come to the main market of your city. It will come to the outskirts of your city, where the land is relatively cheaper,
Okay, sir.
because they want to offer you more economical products. They want to enjoy cost benefits, and therefore they will like to open their facilities at a economical places. So if you talk a already popular marketplace in your city, it is very expensive, so you will not be able to open a
Yes,
big you can say supermarket in that expensive area. So what is the possibility that you go to a place which is not in the main boundaries of the city? Sometimes they may go to the adjacent rural area also, where they can find huge space, huge parking space, huge loading unloading space, and that way they are able to give you some cheaper products. Cheaper
okay, sir.
means products with some discounts.
Discounts, reasonable price.
Yeah. So locating the facility at the appropriate place is a very important strategic decision. If you are not able to locate your facility at a important strategic location, it will be counterproductive. If DMart says that we want to give low cost products, and if they start opening at a very expensive place, it obviously you will understand that it is counterproductive. It is not going to benefit the organization. So therefore, locating the facility requires a lot of support of technology also, that how the place is growing, and in that way the data available through GIS, etc., is possible, which can help us in making a more informed choice for our facility. That is the first use of technology for supply chain. Then, facility, what type of facility? There can be two types of facilities. Facilities can be specific, facilities can be generic. Now, what is the meaning of generic and specific? The meaning of generic and specific is that, can I use a facility for any kind of product? Can I use a facility which can be changed as per the requirement of the products? Or I can use a facility only for a particular type of product. I cannot use that facility for other type of products. Now, you can easily understand that a facility which is specific to a particular type of products, that facility provides you low cost product, because you can develop the entire system for one particular requirement. and then you are continuously using that system to make some limited number of products. So obviously you will enjoy specialization in that, and once you become specialized in that, the cost of production per unit will go down. So that is also requiring technology, that how can you become more and more standardized. I do not know whether you are aware of this or not. This process of standardization in operations management we used to call assembly line systems. Henry Ford was the first person, Ford Car Company, which started the process of standardization. So the process of standardization is also requiring a lot of technology support. These days, we use very specific robots in industry, so that they can repeatedly perform the same activity. So when you develop such type of specific robots, your cost of production will go down. That is one type of use of technology. The other type of use of technology is for creating more generic facilities. Now, if you are developing a specific facility, you cannot use that facility for any other product. Let me give you one example, very recent example. We all passed through a very painful time of COVID. During second wave of COVID, we all know that how we required oxygen in our hospitals, and enough oxygen was not available. But because of generic facilities of oxygen plants, we could divert a lot of industrial use oxygen to medical use oxygen. So industries, because were not were working at a low rate of production, so that much oxygen was not needed in industry. So from industry, from the manufacturing facilities, lot of oxygen supply was diverted to hospitals. That became example of flexible facilities. If facilities are not flexible, we were not in a position to divert that supply from industry to hospitals. And as we are moving, there is a term I will like to mention here. That term is, some of you may be knowing this term, VUCA. I do not know how many of you are aware of this term VUCA. So, Professor Purnima, are you aware of this term VUCA? Sachin? Eh, Vishek Dhiman? Dr. Pathak? Kamini? Sachin Chaudhary?
Kindly respond.
Sir, V I forgot, but U stand for uncertainty. I think C is complexity, and
Great.
A is ambiguity. V, sir, I forgot.
Yeah, very good. So Gaurav has given us very good answer. That
Volatility. Yeah.
Yeah, so situations are volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So, as our environment has become continuously, so because of these type of scenarios which are coming on a daily basis, it is now recommended that we should create more flexible facilities, not the specific facilities, not the facilities which are customized for only one type of application. We need to make facilities, rather it is our manufacturing facilities or a storage facility or a retail facility, which should be flexible, which should be possible to be used as the product line is changing. And for that purpose, it is advisable for making more and more flexible facilities. And just one second.
All the participants are requested to kindly respond the queries. If you don't know, just simply say, "Sir, I don't know." So kindly respond. At least make the session as interactive as much as possible. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I feel means sometimes it appears that whether I'm talking to my computer only or
No, no. Sometimes it felt that like
No,
we are
no, sir.
talking
No,
to the
sir.
wall, right?
yes.
No one is responding. So
No, that's why I started taking names also, so that at least otherwise it remains a confusion that who will speak.
don't worry if you don't know the answer. So don't worry. You just
Uh,
simply answer it in any sense. Yeah.
So now for making the flexible facilities, we need a lot of technology. We need technology which can provide flexible manufacturing systems. We need more computerized controlled machines which are flexible. We require those kind of conveyor systems which are flexible. We require guided machines, tools which are flexible. So everywhere in our organization, for developing the flexible facilities or generic facilities, we need a technology. After facility, okay, before I go to the next type of important use of technology, let me also tell you one important thing before we go further. That our supply chains can be discussed, or you can develop the supply chains for two type of purposes. Two type of purposes means generally supply chains are either responsive or efficient. So you can have a full spectrum, that from here to here, where these are efficient supply chains, and here it is responsive supply chains. And any organization who wants to develop a supply chain which is somewhere having the elements of efficiency and as well as the elements of responsiveness. Efficiency meaning is that a supply chain which is able to provide products at minimum cost. So inverse of cost is efficiency. How much cost you are incurring in providing products to the customer. So that is the measure of efficiency. Responsiveness, generally, if I don't give you the definition, responsiveness is considered with respect to time, that how quickly you are able to provide products to your customers. But there are many other dimensions of responsiveness. For example, can your supply chain provide different level of quantities? Because there may be a customer who requires every time, let's say 500 units. So you have developed your supply chain to provide 500 units to that customer. But then there comes a customer who requires only 50 units. So since you have developed your supply chain to deliver 500 products, it will become very difficult for you to deliver just 50 units to that customer. So from our point of view, to call a responsive supply chain, it is a supply chain which can offer or which is capable of offering different quantity levels. Because if I am a customer in emergency, I may not require huge quantity. I will require very small quantity. So the supply chains which are able to provide different levels of quantity to the customer. Now again, let us take one example. The example is of, I don't know whether you can immediately think of this example, but when I am talking to you, I just thought of this example. This example is of Swiggy. All of you know Swiggy? Yes or no? At least this you can say.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Now, in commercial, Swiggy's television advertisements, many a time you see that they show that they are ready to deliver even single rasgulla. They are ready to deliver even single rasgulla. On the other hand, you see many such shopkeepers in your city or many other uh, delivery systems in your city where they say that we will deliver on your doorstep if the order size is 300 rupees or 500 rupees. So it means these supply chains are not able to deliver if the order size is smaller than a particular value. While Swiggy says that we are ready to deliver from 1 unit to maybe 50 units or 100 units. Because very recently I was standing at a sweet shop in my city, and I saw that that shop was delivering to a Swiggy delivery boy 60 samosas. So he was delivering order of 60 samosa, and the same boy also delivers just one samosa also. So this is the type of flexibility in the quantity delivery. That is one aspect of responsiveness. Another aspect of responsiveness can be variety. That how many different type of products you can deliver. So as we all know, these days number of SKUs are always increasing. SKUs, we understand, Ramesh? Pratik, do we understand what is SKU?
Yes, sir.
Stock keeping units.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes.
good. So we all
Basically,
know.
sir, this is like I can relate it very easily because I'm from the hotel management background.
Yeah,
So the thing is that nowadays, looking at the types of customer, the client, what we are like handling. and looking at the scenario what is going around. So people are about to take lot of challenges into their business where they can meet the customer requirements, customer satisfaction. So this can be really a helpful part here.
No, I am right now talking of variety. Like
Yes.
when few years back, since you are from hotel industry, you may be knowing it very well. That
Yes.
only maybe around 20 years back, there were only 3 to 4 types of biscuits available in the market.
Hmm.
Now, there are more than 100 different types of biscuits are available. 100
Hmm.
types. They may have
Yes.
different flavors, different pack sizes, different other kind of ingredients. So these are varieties. Every product
Hmm.
you talk, every product you talk,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
there are huge number of varieties. Can anybody think of that? How many different type of cars are running on Indian roads? How many different types of cars?
Yeah. Many are there.
Yeah, no, many is now touching to close to 1,000. Many means
Hmm.
because when I say SKUs, so I can differentiate SKU. Now, Pratik, you can mute yourself. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So many means they are different on colors, they are different on interiors, they are different on variant, they are different on brand name. So there are many levels of differentiation. So simply if you talk of company like Maruti, it may be having more than 50 SKUs. If you talk of Hyundai, again it will have so many other kind of variants. So SKUs are continuously increasing. Now, how many different types of products you are able to provide from your supply chain, that is another important type of responsiveness aspect. Similarly, you already I have spoken the response time, another very important and critical measure. Response time, we all know, I took the example of CD. Another important company which is talking of response time as one of their key competitive advantage, that is Domino's. 30-minute delivery. And not only Domino's, now in the e-commerce space, there are companies which are talking of delivering in 10 minutes. So how it is possible? So they have developed their responsiveness system in such a manner. Gaurav is trying to say something. Gaurav, please.
Yes, sir. It was related to the your previous topic, that was SKU. Sir, you gave the example of all the automobiles running in India. So, sir, my question is that all the variants of a single model, let's say, for example, Maruti is delivering Maruti Swift, and there are lots of variants like VDI, EXI, LDI, LXI. All the variants will be considered as a single SKU.
No, no, they all are different SKUs and even their colors, because in each variant there will be 3 to 4 or 5 colors. So they are also different SKUs.
So, sir, is it like that if in a supply chain, or if, for example, if in manufacturing, if a company can change such kind of properties in any particular product, does it matter? For example, let's say Maruti Swift, the color of the car can be changed at the last stage of manufacturing. So, will Maruti will consider that Swift as that model of a Swift as an individual SKU?
Absolutely, that is a different SKU.
Okay, okay, sir.
And
Got it.
since you are talking of automobile, let me give you an example that when this assembly line system started at Ford, at that time Ford used to make only one type of car. These were black cars. Only one color, black. All cars were black, and they used to have only one model. The car name was T. T. T for tiger.
Okay, sir.
T and black. That is the car only. Only if you are having a car, it means it is a T and black. Slowly and slowly, when the impact of marketing started, and as a impact of marketing, we all want customized products. We want those products which are uniquely designed for us. So, like I can see your DP in blue color jacket. So it means that you love blue color. So obviously you will not prefer black car. You will like to have a blue car or some other color. I means I'm just giving. I am not loving the blue color. I want silver color. So to capture the requirement of individual customers, the role of marketing comes into the picture. And as a result of that, SKUs have started increasing. When we are talking more and more of customized products, you will see more and more SKUs coming into the picture. I will like to digress slightly. मैं थोड़ा सा टॉपिक से अलग हटता हूं. This is my personal obsession also.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
That I will like to say that when we are talking of more SKUs, more customization, developing products as per individual's requirement, we are going slightly away from sustainability. These days, sustainability is also a very important agenda, that by our supply chains, by our products, by our business activities, we should not harm the environment. But if we do too much of customization, that means a product which is developed only for the unique requirement of Professor Krishna Kumar, how can the same product be used by Gaurav Sharma? Or how a product developed for Gaurav Sharma can be used by Pratik? That is not possible. So when a standard product is developed for Professor Krishna or for Gaurav, then only the same standard product can be used by Pratik. So there are two types of you can say philosophies going on simultaneously. One thought is saying, which is more consumer oriented thought, that says that okay, develop products for unique requirements of the customers. This is one thought. The other thought, which is more sustainability oriented thought, it says that we should limit this type of extra customization. We should produce more standard products so that those products can be easily interchangeable. If Krishna Kumar uses fresh product, so his used product can be taken by another person who can use the same standard product. But if it is very unique for Krishna Kumar's requirement, nobody else will be in a position to use the same product. So that is what is very important to understand in this aspect. However, this is not related to our topic today, but I just wanted to give food for thought to you, that whether you are looking for more customized products or more standard products. When you go to your school days, you can remember that because all of us wear the same shirt, so sometimes it happens that we can share our shirts also because of standardization. But if we wear different type of shirts, we have our own preferences and we cannot share one product with other product. So this is about another dimension of a responsive supply chain. So quantity, variety, response time. Another dimension of responsiveness supply chain is service level. Service level means, are we able to provide products from available inventory? So if you are ready to provide products from available inventory, customers will be more than happy. So for higher service level, you need to maintain higher inventory levels. For higher service level, you need to maintain higher inventory levels. But higher inventory levels means higher cost. So there again comes a very critical decision, that what should be the inventory level which can fulfill a reasonable level of customer expectations. And let me tell you that this is one of the biggest use of technology in the recent time to decide appropriate inventory levels. Maintaining the appropriate inventory is a very critical decision, very critical decision. Inventory in this supply chain inventory is available at every stage. Inventory is available at supplier, manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer. At every stage, you have inventory. Now, as you are moving from supplier to retailer, what is happening that you are adding value to your product. As you are going to down supply chain, you are adding value to your product. And in that value addition, in this value addition direction, what happens that we we need to be clear that value addition, as you are doing, it will increase the cost of your product. Now I can give you one example. When you go to a restaurant, some of you may order shahi paneer or dal fry. Some of you may order butter chicken. You know that the kitchen will make same type of gravy for both these products. The final preparation, of that product, that dish, just happens once you reach or once you place the order. Before that, all products remain in the ingredient form, so that we can minimize the cost of value addition. If they keep the dal fry or butter chicken ready and those butter chickens and dal fries are not consumed, it is a huge loss to the restaurant owner. So to minimize that loss, what he does, that he waits for a customer, and once the customer is there, order is placed, then he keeps some basic raw material in semi-processed form readily available, and then that semi-finished raw material, semi-finished ingredient is prepared to make the final dish. In this way, this restaurant owner is able to provide more customized products to the customer. Pratik was mentioning about that few minutes back, because he comes from the hotel industry, so he was giving this example. So customer is also happy. Some customers want more butter, some customers want more spicy, some customers want less oily. So all those things can be done at the last stage of value addition. So the last stage of the value addition is done once the order has come, and we keep some standard things in our store before that. Another very important example, many of you may be knowing this company IKEA, IKEA, which is a Swedish furniture manufacturer. How many of you know it?
Not aware of it, sir.
Okay. So IKEA is a global leader in the furnitures. IKEA is a very big name in the furniture industry. It's a Swedish company, IKEA. Now, the important thing about IKEA, because furniture also comes in so many design, you all have individual preferences about furniture. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
for a furniture retailer, it is impossible to keep all that type of furnitures readily available in the retail outlet. It will require huge space to store different type of furnitures in the store. So what he does, IKEA, that they have made some standard components, standard parts, which are easy to store, and all standard parts are rectangular. All standard parts are rectangular, whether it is top of the table, whether it is legs of the table, drawers, everything. So standard means rectangular packings are there for all the components which they are using, so that in minimum space you can store most of the items. And more interestingly, when the order comes that I require a office table or a study table or a dining table, etc., etc., so they will add certain components to give me the final product as per my requirement. So that way they are able to do customization also, and they have good degree of standardization also. They will defer the final assembly till the order has come. So I give the example of our uh, restaurants also. They also wait for final order, and then only the products are made. So there are good number of examples where final delivery, final product is made only after the order has received. In our supply chain literature, this is known as push versus pull. Push versus pull means there are various processes which happen in a supply chain in anticipation of a customer. Pratik, are you there? So it appears that Pratik is not there now. So like he is in hotel industry. So whenever a guest leaves the room, hotel will prepare the room. Hotel staff will make the room again available for a guest.
Yes, sir.
No, no, no problem. So
Sir,
because
network error.
they will anticipate that customers will come. So whenever the customer will come, they will require the room. So therefore, the activity of preparation of room is done in anticipation of demand. That demand will be there, so we need to make preparations in advance. Whenever the demand will be there, these things will be used. On the other hand, pull is that you do once the demand is there, once the order is there, then only you do these things. Like I gave the example of restaurant, that is a pull system. You have purchased the vegetables, you have purchased the paneer, milk, meat, all these things. So, as a restaurant owner, you have purchased all these things. That is the push. You are anticipating that customers are going to come, so all these food items will be required. But you have not done the final value addition. You have not done the final preparation that you are doing after the order has come. So push and pull are very integral part of our supply chain discussion. And with the help of technology, we can decide how many activities should be done in push and how many activities should be done in pull. Because in one supply chain, you have both push and pull from here to here to here to here. So, case one, you say that from here to here, it will be push and then it is pull. Somebody else will say, no, 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 for me, this much is push and this much is pull. So the boundary of push and pull in a supply chain is a very, very critical decision. And again, there is a tremendous use of technology to decide the push and pull. We use lot of analytics to decide the boundary of push and pull in our supply chains. Analytics means the demand data, the historical demand data, time series data that will help us to decide push and pull. Push is in anticipation and pull in reaction. After the demand has come, then we use the pull systems. So push and pull are two very important part, and that's how we are going to handle them in our supply chain management. If as a supply chain manager, you can identify the right boundary of push and pull, you will help or you are going to have a very good supply chain design for your organization. So this is the second important part of our discussion, where we are discussing the inventory and in inventory, how much inventory you should have of which stage. That is very important. And generally, in inventory management, we use the analytics. Because whenever I'm talking of inventory management, there are two, three very important questions we need to get answer. One question is how much to order? What should be the order quantity? I am a retailer and I need to give order to my wholesaler. So every time, what should be the order quantity I should place? So that is one important question which I need to get answer. The second important question is when to order. How much to order and when to order. These are the two important questions. We need their answers, and therefore, for getting the answer of these questions, we require a lot of mathematical modeling. Now, in earlier period, that mathematical modeling was relatively more stable. I used to get a data of, let's say, last 5 years, and based on that 5 years data, I will do some kind of mathematical modeling to decide my order quantity and frequency of ordering. But dear friends, these days we are able to get real data. Real data means the data which is generated on a regular basis, real time data. And with the help of that real time data, how can I continuously modify my order quantity and time to order? That has been the main contribution of information technology, main contribution of analytics in supply chain management. So I am no longer working with old data, static data, but my data, my input to my forecasting models have also become dynamic in nature. So this is another very interesting thing. How it is happening now? For example, let me give you something in writing. Earlier, we used to decide, like this is November 2022. So for forecasting this purpose, I will be having the data of 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So if I have the data of these past periods, I will use this data to forecast for 2022. And then I will divide that forecast for monthly basis. So whatever changes are happening in demand of October, September, I am not able to use that changes for updating the forecast of November 2022, because it was not possible to get that data immediately in the previous periods when things were not available to us immediately. But many of you may be knowing that these days we have a system of POS data. POS data means point of sales data. These days we can easily calculate point of sales data everywhere. We know that whatever purchases are being made, some bills, online bills are generated, and that online bill data immediately goes to the entire supply chain. And therefore, everybody in your supply chain is aware that what type of sales are being made at a store in Srinagar. So that data immediately travels to the entire supply chain, and as a result of that, we are able to update our forecasting and inventory requirements on real time basis, and that will help us in minimizing our inventory stocks. That will help us to achieve better service levels, and that will help us to be more competitive. That will help us to remain lean and agile. So, because of online real time data's availability, we are able to do these things. And role of information technology is immense in developing this facility of collecting the real-time data. As I'm saying that POS data, point of sales data, is the major source of this development. Only because of POS data is available, we are able to update our forecast in the real-time environment. Otherwise, we used to work with a very old historical data. So that is a very significant change which has happened. And another important thing, that nowadays not only POS data is used for forecasting purpose or your inventory management purpose. One more data is also generated. That data is along with POS data, the other data which is developed, that is lot of big data. So a lot of big data is also generated. And we need to use that big data also effectively for our inventory management, forecasting, supply chain management purpose. Now, big data is unstructured. Big data doesn't follow any kind of pattern. It is not systematic. For example, huge amount of data is generated on a daily basis in WhatsApp. Huge amount of data is generated on Facebook. So this data is not necessarily a numerical data. It can be pictures, it can be some text, it can be some music, it can be some voice memo also. All these are the different forms in which data is generated these days. You are standing in front of a shop in a shopping mall. CCTV of that shop is capturing you. How much time have you devoted in front of that store? CCTV has captured that data. That is big data. So all that big data is also now a very important source of customer information. Let me ask you, many of you must have purchased products from Amazon. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So you purchase products from Amazon. For example, you purchase, let's say, one new dress for yourself. Now there will be 100,000 of dresses available on Amazon. But when you go next time for that purchase on Amazon, Amazon will not show you those 100,000 dresses. Amazon has developed a profile of Parul Seni, and dresses which are matching with your profile will only be shown to you. So dresses which will be shown to you will be different than the dresses which are shown to Shivani or dresses which are shown to Kamini. Because the websites which we are surfing, whatever transactions which we are doing on Alexa, whatever videos we are surfing on Amazon Prime, based on all these different type of information sources, big data which is generated, Amazon is able to develop profile of every customer whoever has come on Amazon website. And that's why suiting to your profile only products are shown to you. You even will not be able to imagine that how many products are available on Amazon website. Any rough idea? Anybody?
Sir, it may vary in as per the sectors. For example,
No,
in
I'm saying across the sector, all types of products. Some very you can say
sir, million.
yes, it will be multi-million.
Yes, sir.
It is multi-million. It is to be very specific, somewhere close to 3.4 billion SKUs. 3.4 billion SKUs. If as a single customer Gaurav starts searching the Amazon website, it may take many months to completely see all those products which are available on Amazon. So if Gaurav requires new shoes and all those shoes which are available at Amazon are shown to you, it will be impossible for you to make a good decision. So what happens that Amazon has used technology very effectively. Based on your profile, it will show you only limited number of products so that you can make a good choice. You can make a choice as per your taste. So Amazon has developed a personality profile of every individual, and based on that, they suggest you some kind of a solution. So point is that technology is used in a big way for maintaining the inventory, for deciding the inventory levels in your stocks, and once you are able to make a good choice with respect to use of big data and point of sales data, you will be able to update your forecast. You will be able to check your inventory levels on a regular basis, because as I said that inventory is a huge cost to the organizations want inventory and do not want inventory at the same time. So it's a very interesting situation that inventory is a necessary evil, you can say. In our language of operations management, we say that inventory is a necessary evil. You need to keep it, but you do not want to keep it. So therefore, we need to take very clear, informed decisions, and that I think is the biggest contribution of information technology in our supply chain management. Now, another important role of technology in supply chain is retail management. As I just mentioned, that SKUs are increasing. Okay, Gaurav, you want to say something?
Sir, I'm having a question here. Sir, as you told us that companies like Amazon, there are other companies as well are having their own recommender system for each and every customer of theirs. So, does these recommender system also helps companies to predict the sale to forecasting the sale? I mean,
Yeah,
managing the inventory is in real time, but can these recommender system also help the companies to predict how many sales will happen for the next 2 months or 3 months?
you see, if you are a big company, generally you will take information or data from your own sources. But if you are not a big company, you are a small supply chain, in that case you take the help of these recommenders. Because if you are not able to develop your complete information system, if you are not able to integrate point of sales data, capturing the big data, etc., and processing that data to make meaningful outcome, in that case we can take help of these recommenders. So simple thumb rule is that as long as I'm not having my own dedicated system of collecting the point of sales data, or okay, so if I'm, let's say, Adidas, I'm Nike, I'm Reebok, in that case I will not go for recommenders. I have my own systems and I will use my system to predict the forecast or to maintain the inventory. But in case if I am a company, for example, at this moment, if I talk of Patanjali, so Patanjali is a very big company in India, but they do not have that kind of integrated system of capturing all these information. So they depend on recommenders. And therefore, it is also important to understand the point which you are raising, that how much investment on developing a good information system is recommended. If you overspend on developing a information system which may not be worthy enough, That also is not a good decision making. That also not a good leadership. So you need to understand that can I depend on third parties? Can I depend on recommenders for my requirement? Or do I need to have my own system? So in case you are understanding that I can develop this system and it will be in organization's long-term interest. Because when you are depending on recommenders, there are always chances that your data may be leaked, your data may be compromised by them. So good organizations, large organizations, they generally try to do all these things in-house. It remains sometimes very confidential also that organizations will not generally disclose these things in public. So that's the reason the organizations in a competitive era will not like to disclose and they will like to depend on their in-house systems.
Thank you, sir.
I think okay. So I coming to this last point, that is of retail management. Now, as I mentioned few minutes back, that SKUs are rising, space is decreasing. So how to accommodate SKUs in a limited space? How to accommodate SKUs, increasing SKUs in limited space? Those who are traveling by air, if you go to airport, every airport in our country has a book shop. So I really feel so thrilled that bookshops are available at the most premium places in our country, that every airport has a bookshop. Now, if you see in that bookshop, every time you travel, you will find new titles. So how old titles will find place in the bookshelf? If titles are not available, customers will not buy. Here comes the role of technology. Because the space is limited, products are increasing. So for that purpose, you can put QR codes of the books. Readers can scan those QR codes and can know about the book, and then they can order about the book. Similarly, nowadays, even in IKEA stores, we see QR codes of different furniture designs. So you can open your store in a very expensive, popular place in your city where you do not require big offices. You require a small place where you can display all QR codes and customers can scan and see the 3D version, 2D version, all kind of virtual version of your products. Similarly, in case of automobiles also, you cannot keep inventory of all types of automobiles readily available in your store. So again, you can have their codes, their models in the form of QR systems. So in this way, we are able to accommodate more and more SKUs in less and less spaces. So that has become a kind of a game changer in the retail, that customers are getting the experience of online shopping at a brick and mortar store. So in this way, we are able to combine the benefit of both the things. Then another important part of technology is happening in transportation. Supply chain management has a huge component or a role of logistics, moving goods from one place to another place. So that is a very integral part of supply chain. Now, when we are talking of movement of products from one place to another place, in that also technology is playing role. We know that how last mile delivery is provided with the help of drone in different parts of the world. People are experimenting use of UAV for delivering the products. If I assume many of you are from Uttarakhand, so this use of drone in delivering the products in hilly areas, again, it can be a wonderful help to the society. And people have started experimenting with it. In some countries, some pilot projects are going very well. And in India also, we keep hearing that these food delivery uh, aggregators will start using drone for last mile delivery, because this will save manpower, this will save pollution, this will save time, efforts, accidents. All these things are the latest in our supply chain management, that how the different type of delivery equipments, delivery systems are going to be available. So that is another interesting use of technology for supply chain management. And one more agenda. So in this last point, in this technology, the risk management. The use of information technology will help us in proper risk management in supply chain, because supply chains are also having the challenges of a lot of risk issues. There are different type of unforeseen risk in a supply chain. You cannot uh, identify those risks in advance. But now, because you are able to process the data in a more effective manner, we have developed new methodologies using simulation and scenario analysis, which will help us to find the suitable risk mitigation strategies. These things will help us in developing a suitable risk management plan for our supply chains. So, in this way, I have given you a broad overview of use of technology in different decision phases of your supply chain. We still have some time, if I ask Professor Krishna Kumar, so that we can take some of your questions before we finally sign off from this meeting.
Yeah, it is a very nice interaction, sir. So, participants, the floor is open for the questions. So, kindly ask one by one, or you can also mention in the chat box if you have. Yeah, anyone, Gaurav? Any questions so far? Alok, Parul, Prachi, Praveen?
I think it is dinner
It is.
time, so they must be busy having their dinner simultaneously. They may be doing the parallel processing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Gaurav has raised the hand.
Gaurav,
Sir, as we were talking about in this whole session, we were targeting or we were focusing on supply chains in which we are talking about commodities. So, how you think that the same technologies can be helpful when we are providing services? If our business is not providing commodities, if our business is providing services.
Okay, so let me tell you one thing, that since we are talking of supply chain, and generally when we talk of supply chain, a physical product is in our mind. But now we are talking of supply chain of services. For example, healthcare services. For example, coaching services. For example, banking services. Now you can think of in all these services, there are certain physical aspect, and delivering that physical aspect will require the same thing what we are discussing. But there is a intangible aspect also in services, like how many customers will come to avail that service. If you are developing a hospital in some area, now what type of services you need to provide, whether it has to be a cancer hospital, whether it has to be a other disease related hospital. And over a period of time, when you are calculating the real time data, you will understand that what type of demographic changes are happening, how the eating habits are changing. So accordingly, strengthening the uh, your service system is required. But one thing we need to understand here, that every supply chain may not require changes on real time basis. In hospital supply chain, which is an example of service supply chain, what should be the inventory of medicines, that may require real time monitoring. That okay, you should have sufficient number of medicines in your hospital so that you can fulfill the customer requirement. And since medicine is a physical product, so whatever I discussed, that applies to the medicine. But how many doctors should be there in the hospital so that they can handle the customers or patients properly? This number cannot be changed on daily basis. It's a slightly long term decision. So please understand that in supply chain there are three type of decisions. One is for short term period, immediate period, then for intermediate period, and then for long term period. So all these real time decision making is very much suitable for our immediate decision making, which is need to be done on day to day basis, maybe weekly basis. If you are doing a decision on long term basis, so whether to have more specialist doctor at a place, it may not be a day to day decision activity, and that is requiring more static kind of a data. And based on that, so in services also, the component which is dealing with the physical aspect, the discussion which we had is perfectly applicable. But the discussion of whether to increase more service center or less service center in a bank, it is simple to understand that during first week of month there will be extra rush. All service people will come to bank to withdraw their pension or salaries, etc. So generally you must have observed the bank manager will keep more people for withdrawal counters or cash counters. During the last week of the month, hardly you will find any customer in the bank. So most of the people will be busy in bank loan, credit card, those kind of things. You will not find people talking to you about bank loan and credit cards in the first week of the month, because they were busy in their routine banking operations. So that way, once we have this kind of pattern of service uses, hospitals strengthen their facilities during change of weather, because they know that during change of weather more patients of viral fever will come. So in real time, I don't think that we need such kind of variation in these services which are following a particular pattern. But yes, the data of real time customer can be very useful even in services, if at all some kind of changes are required about the services if all of a sudden more number of visitors are coming to a particular place like Haridwar's Har Ki Paidi, so service sector might, let's say, police personnel, the local district administration can deploy more police personnel to handle the situation in a better manner. So regular monitoring of data is needed even in service sector also to take right decisions.
Thank you, sir.
So any other question?
Any other questions?
Otherwise, we can call it a day.
I think, sir, you answered all the questions, and thank you very much, sir. It is a nice interaction session, and of course, it is fruitful and knowledge gaining session. So we really appreciate you give us your time from your busiest schedule. So thank you very much, sir. We
Thank
love to call again for future such type of event, so to deliver such type of informative session.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All the very best to all the participants.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye
sir.
bye. Bye bye. Bye. Have a
Good
nice
night.
day. Bye.